I learned that the gods of Olympus are real. And sometimes they have children with humans called half-bloods. We're pretty much like anyone else you'd meet, but with a few notable differences. He's kind of accepting a life of being an average demigod and trying to, you know, step up to the plate and see whether or not he can be the hero again.
Our quest calls for only our finest hero.
He's not in the same position he was at the end of the first film. He's not as much of a hero, and you sort of see him a little bit weaker and more vulnerable.
Oh, nice of you to show up just to watch me win.
You know, everything they say about you is wrong, Clarice. You actually do have a sense of humor.
In the first movie, she was very, she had a guard up, and she was a lot tougher, and she was less willing to sort of let people in, and she was sort of making Percy prove himself to her. And in this one, she's a better friend to him, and you see her vulnerability and her compassionate side. And I liked playing that part of her because she was sort of, I think it shows that she's growing up.
Tell me those aren't sharks.
Those aren't sharks.
If you're reading the script, and as you read it, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in a huge movie.
There's a ton of crazy big, you know, visual effecty sequences in this movie that I was excited to jump into.
It was important to open this movie up, you know, because it takes place in much sort of vaster spaces than the first movie did.
It's a hippocampus.
The monsters get bigger and bigger, and sequences are, you know, larger and larger. I love the hippocampus. It's the water creature that brings us out to the boat. That was really, really, I think it's just a beautiful sequence and a really cool creature.
We found this, you know, incredibly haunted looking place with these, you know, rusty old structures everywhere.
We're in an amusement park that was a swamp that we just, you know, took all the water out and got some of all the alligators out, as many as we can, and you know, there's snakes everywhere. It
was important to me to bring in very important sort of markers of the mythology of the Percy Jackson books, because frankly, without them, this particular story, Sea of Monsters, would not really work.
This film is much more, you know, tonally similar to what the book is. Fast-paced and has a lot more humor in it, so we tried to bring that into this movie.
This is a bad idea.
You don't even know what I was gonna say.
You were going to say that you're going after the fleece.
Actually, he was going to say we were.
I think we all get to that place in our lives, and then knowing that no matter what happens to you, you can still prevail and still win and still fight through the difficulties. I think that that's a really great message for people.
Find the fleece.
So tired.